Children, in the previous session, we were stopped here. It's a one picture on the page number second. Lipton tea is written there, famous all over the world. So this picture shows us that how markets for new products were created and new tastes were popularized. This is the advertisement made in the year 1922, and the person who is seen in the advertisement, he is none other than third son of Queen Victoria of Britain, whose name was Prince Arthur. Okay, so this is Lipton teas. Now we will see which dates are very important, or what are the criteria for to select a set of dates. Dates around which we compose our story of the past are not important on their own. They become important because we focus on particular set of events as important. Yes or no? See, 15th August 1947, we say that India got independence. 15th August comes every year, but 15th August 1947 was the year on which what happened? India got independence. This event is very important, so this date is very important. For another one example, I will give you some of the British historians who lived in India in the early days of East India Company and who wrote history. And these histories begin with the rule of first Governor General, whose name was Warren Hastings, and it was ended with the last Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten, who granted independence to India. Then, in this, we can say there are separate chapters in which we read about the deeds of all these governor generals, right from Hastings, Lord Wellesley, William Bentinck. William Bentinck was very good person who banned sati, who curbed the activities of thugs. Lord Dalhousie was another one person who was very nice, who brought railways in our country, who was the man who we can say started police force army. Canning, Lord Canning was there, another one. Lawrence was there, Lord Lytton was there, Ripon was there, Curzon was very cruel man. Lord Curzon, who divided Bengal on the communal basis, Hindu and Muslim. Harding, Lord Irwin, and it was never-ending succession of governor generals and viceroys. So there were many governor generals and viceroys, we can say. All these dates are there in the history books. They are linked to these personalities, their activities, their policies, their achievements, what they did, and it was as if there was nothing outside their lives that was important for us to know. The chronology of these lives marked the different chapters of the history of British India. This is the information about Warren Hastings, children. He became first Governor General in the year 1773. According to one act that was passed in this one year, Regulating Act was the name. According to that, this Warren Hastings was appointed as the Governor General of India, not just only Bengal. Then Warren Hastings was a competent, honorable, and far-sighted administrator whose policies, while some controversial, decisively shaped and stabilized future Anglo-Indian relations. The controversy surrounding his administration made him the subject of impeachment and trial in Great Britain. This was Warren Hastings. Then the next point is, how do we periodize? Children, in the year 1817, a Scottish economist and political philosopher whose name was James Mill, he published one book, History of British India. In his book, the Indian history is divided into three periods. One is Hindu period, one is Muslim period, and another one is third one is British period. So he divided our history into three parts. This periodization came to be widely accepted. Everybody accepted this. And this Mill was there. He thought that all Asian societies were at a lower level of civilization than European people. And according to him, before British came to India, Hindu and Muslim they ruled country. They looted country. He said in that. Then religious intolerance, caste taboos, superstitious practices dominated the society. James Mill, he could civilize India. To do that, it was necessary to introduce European manners, arts, institutions, and laws in India. Mill, in fact, suggested that the British should conquer all the territories in India to ensure the enlightenment and happiness of the Indian people, for India was not capable of progress without British help. So, all these views of this James Mill are written in his book. Moving away from British classification, historians have usually divided Indian history into three parts. Everybody knows that: ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. This division too has its own problem because it is a periodization that is borrowed from the West, where modern period was associated with the growth of all the forces of modernity: science, reason, democracy, liberty, and equality. Look at these children. Ancient history 4000 BC to 500 AD. Medieval history 500 AD to 1500 AD. And modern history 1500 AD till present. So this is what we can say classification of Indian history.